Yeah, you devils are gonna fall. And this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, and it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand," so the BCIs, the paradromics, the Neuralinks, or in his hand, the RFID chip, because there's many different type of RFID chips, different shapes and sizes. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? So this is a judgment for taking the mark of the beast. You're gonna burn in hell. And this is the hell that the scriptures speak about. The fire from the missiles, when the missiles hit Babylon the Great, which is America, New York, Florida, California, all the different states, when all of these buildings are falling down and crushing people and fire is everywhere, that's that great judgment that you people will not be able to escape. The ones of you that are going to take the RFID chip, ones of you that are going to take the BCIs, whether it's for medical reasons, whether it's for consumer device reasons, or just for consumer lifestyle reasons. I'll say it like that because a lot of you people are in love with technology, the latest laptops, the latest tablets, the latest TVs, the latest cars, the latest watches, smart watches, these Apple watches, you name it, man. The latest fitness watch. That's gonna get you destroyed because you're simple. Scriptures asks, how long will you simple ones love simplicity? And when you go into that word simplicity, it goes into being easily persuaded. The Greek word pethy, which pretty much for me, it just means you're pathetic, man. How long are you gonna stay or function in a pathetic spirit? Let's get that word pathetic real quick. Because that's what you people are. Because that's what you people are. Whoever takes RFID chip is pathetic. And let's get into Merriam-Webster. Oh, pitiful, inferior, or inadequate, absurd, laughable. Right. The elect is going to laugh at you because the elect is aware of the message, the warning. Why? Because they have the spirit on them to take heed. Take heed to these videos and trust in Yahweh Hashem Shai. Trust in faith. Pray to Yahweh Hashem Shai. Humble thyself and seek the kingdom. Seek the Lord. Seek Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Seek Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. Again, this is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. Once more, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. And wisdom is something sweet that will prevent you from taking the RFID chip, from going astray. Because not all knowledge is wisdom, okay? But the knowledge of the scriptures. All wisdom comes from the scriptures. And it says, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. And what's the knowledge of the holy? The knowledge of the holy is not to take the RFID chip, not to bow to the image of the beast, not to worship the image of the beast, like these women today. 99% of these women are going to take the RFID chip because they're the ones that worship the image the most. The image of the beast is catered to them, first and foremost, because the simps follow after the women. So they don't have to worry about the man. They just destroy the woman, right? which they destroyed the Israelite man first, then they targeted the woman. But in today's day and age, they don't need to worry about the man. They just destroy the woman. And the woman destroys the man. And then the man follows the woman. And that's the sad part about this world, right? That's why this world has to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. And that's a judgment in Revelation chapter 14, amongst other things. The grievous sores that you people are going to get for trying to remove the RFID chip from your arm, you're going to get that judgment as well. And a dog is going to come bite your hand with the pus and the blood draining because you want to play surgeon. Now you want to come and cut out the RFID chip because you realize that you made a mistake. That, oh shit, I shouldn't have taken it. The Lord is going to destroy me. I thought this was going to make everything better. No. That's a torment that you people are going to face. This thing is not going to last long. You know, so let me just play a little bit more of this and close. Let me just close off with this.
What does it feel like? What is it like when you're learning to use a BCI? Like, what's that process like? The three of you are part of a very rarefied group of people who can answer that question. It's almost like telekinesis, moving things with your mind.
I think Nathan will have a very different answer, but for me, I was just thinking about moving my hand and wrist, which is a weird thing when someone asks you to start moving your hand, because I don't remember when I thought about it when I was growing up. As an infant, when you're learning that skill, you don't know what you're doing. And, then by the time you grow up, you don't have to think about it because it's just second nature. So it was pretty challenging because it is kind of abstract of, am I thinking about this the right way or not? But yeah, you had to think about what you're trying to move, and I tried to dial that into, what muscles am I trying to activate in my forearm to make my fingers flex and extend, or my wrist, and that helped. And then also, once we were connected to the brain-computer interface and seeing a virtual hand on the screen responding, that gives you that feedback to know if you're thinking about it the right way or not, or at least on the same page.
Did it evolve? I'm thinking of I try to imagine what it'd be like. I'm thinking when I first learned to drive, I was really concentrating on the steering wheel, but now I don't pay attention to it. Does it evolve? Or do you think about it anymore? Or is it now more does it become more like second nature, or?
When I first started to try to move the arm, they said, think about moving your hand right. And I was trying so hard to move the hand right. I was concentrating and thinking right, 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 right. And then it was time to move it left. I thought left, left, left. And I wasn't thinking about moving my hand. I was trying to move the robotic. And that was very slow for the first couple of days. And as I caught on that it was just like moving my own arm, then it became much more natural. The way I explained it to someone a couple of years later, I said, okay, reach your hand up to do a high five. And they did. And I said, no, what did you think about it? And he said, well, not very much. And I said, that's exactly it. It's natural. And even though I had been a quadriplegic for 12 years and my body had forgotten how to move my arm, my brain had not forgotten. So my brain remembered and did what brains are supposed to do. And I thought about moving my arm. And they said, yeah, that's easy. This is how you do it. Then I moved the arm.
When I first started using the BCI, control of the robotic arm has always just been really intuitive and easy. Basically, it worked the first time we tried it, and I think about moving my arm around, and the robotic arm moves around. I think we've controlled up to 9 degrees of freedom. It is one of those things that sometimes thinking less is more. You don't have to, think.
There you have it. You have a lot of these experiences, these videos of, BCI patients, explaining how convenient and how much it has improved their lives, And what I just got from this video is that they have robotic arms, and the BCI help them to move these robotic arms. So when you have simple, easily to be persuaded individuals hearing these experiences, you're going to be like, oh, this is a great thing. This is a good thing that's happening. And they're not going to see the evil. They're not going to see the evil in these companies, because they're gonna see it as either helping their cousin, helping their sister, helping their father who may suffer from these things, or just enhancing their abilities to do whatever it is. Okay? So I'm gonna just leave it there, and as always, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash, Shalom. We need to get out of here. Bad Babal, man, Shalom.